Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Last Night I Watched, a show where a few of us get together and we talk movies. Today I am joined by Ian, Kristian, and Carlos. Today we're going to talk about The Northman.
Strike, but know that bearing a stolen ring makes no half-breed a king. Soaked in my blood, 'twill soon be sliding off your arm like a serpent. Your kingdom will not last. Let this misdeed haunt your living nights, till a flaming vengeance gorges on your dead. Strike! Strike!
Ian, what'd you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I do think it was a little too long. Maybe trim the movie down a little bit. But I thought it was a very well done film. I really like, Overcast. And I think this whole movie's overcast for the most part. And I've always liked overcast in movies.
Like a gloomy...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like rainy weather. I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. The violence is pretty good. People's noses get cut off. People's limbs get cut off. Heads get cut off. A lot of cutting offs. The story, I guess I like the story. I like a good revenge movie. Some of my favorite movies are the Death Wish movies with Charles Bronson. I think those are really good revenge movies. So, it's always nice to see. I can't remember the last time I saw a revenge movie in the theater. So I like that. It was, pretty good performances. Is it Alexander Skarsgard is the main actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave a good performance. Is it Anya Taylor-Joy or Anna Taylor-Joy?
Anya
Taylor-Joy gave a good performance. Nicole Kidman gave a good performance. The uncle of Alexander Skarsgard, who Nicole Kidman is later on with, he gave a good performance.
Played by Clay Spang.
Thank you. It was just a well done movie. I like Robert Eggers. Kristian and I, we saw The Lighthouse at the Tower Theater when it came out. We enjoyed that. The Witch is a decent movie, also starring Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah, it was a good time. Again, could have been shortened a little bit, but honestly, I thought it was a well done film. And I'll pass it off to Kristian.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot, actually. I thought it was really well done, like Ian said. I don't know. I've always been into Viking kind of stuff, like Viking stories, and
You've got a very Viking name.
yeah, the Swedish descent. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I love the acting in this movie. I thought it was executed perfectly. Well, I don't know about perfect. Like, it's good. It's really good. And when you take the Viking stuff, I mean, you're gonna have a bunch of violence and a bunch of bloody craziness going on. I always appreciate that. It's a lot of mess, I'm sure, when you're making a movie. So I give them props for the work on that. And I mean, overall, I was really into it. I thought it was cool. Fun Viking revenge story. But yeah, what about you?
Oh, man. I love Robert Eggers. The Witch is a great film. Lighthouse is really up there for me. I think that's my favorite Eggers film. This one might be my least favorite out of his three so far. I know this time he had a huge budget for this film. He did a lot of research and consulted with a lot of Viking historians. And he tried nailing down some pretty impressive shots. That tracking shot when they're going over the wall and infiltrating when he was a berserker. That was a really cool shot.
Is that where he grabs a spear and then he throws it back at the person and hits them?
Yeah, in the initial shot.
That was a good shot.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah.
And, I tried watching a couple behind the scenes and how they set up a lot of those complex shots and shots on boats and stuff. It's a very impressive movie. It's well put together. I agree with the acting. Nicole Kidman at the end there when she did her monologue, I was like, ooh, whoa, that was good. Skarsgård totally transforms if you look at him as a civilian, just doing these press tours. This movie, he's humongous as the Northman.
Oh yeah, huge.
And Ethan Hawke, you know, I liked Ethan Hawke in the beginning.
I forgot about him and another big name too.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe, of course.
He was fun.
I did like Willem Dafoe returning like halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
In just like a skull form.
Yeah, his decapitated head. I like when you introduce. He lets out this like bah! thing. That's how like the first thing he says. I forget what exactly. He just cracked me up.
Yeah.
When they're like in the hall, and he just lets out this like shriek or something. It was pretty funny.
And he's got his little where the wild things are outfit on.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of.
That's hilarious
When he was wearing that outfit.
Yeah,
he slaps his dong around.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
I was looking at some of the behind the scenes. It looks like they cut a little bit more of William Dafoe in the hall.
Oh, did they?
From the movie, so hopefully we get to see that in like the extras later on in the DVD.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Overall, though, yeah, like I was saying, this is probably my least favorite Robert Eggers film. It just didn't hit as hard for me. When I asked Mark what he thought, he said it was a little too too long, and I kind of agree. It did drag out a little bit. I felt like it could have been condensed a little bit more. Maybe have that final battle when he's coming down from the hill with his Nightblade. Maybe have that be like the final battle, but then I guess we do need to eventually get to the volcano somehow, so that's why they did that. Anya Taylor-Joy was fun to see again. I love her in her Eggers films. And like Ian was saying, the atmosphere and how they put it all together, it was good.
This was the first movie I had actually watched with Anya Taylor-Joy.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't see The Witch?
Never seen The Witch.
Never seen Split?
Nope.
Well, I hope she lived up to her expectations.
Yeah, she was really good.
Yeah.
I've heard a bunch about her in that TV show. She's like.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's like a chess thing.
Is
I don't know.
Netflix? Maybe
one of those English shows, maybe.
Yeah, I totally forgot what it was called, but it was pretty poppin' like a few months back.
Right. It was also Last Night in Soho, which I still need to see.
Oh, she's good in that one too.
Still need to see that.
She's gonna be Princess Peach in the upcoming Mario film.
Hey, that's
with Chris Pratt.
that's fine.
Yeah.
She's also going to be Furiosa in the they're shooting off from the Mad Max one.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
the prequel?
Wow.
I don't know if it's a prequel.
I heard they were gonna
confusion for the Mad Max timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That's fine.
Huh?
What were you gonna say?
Oh, are they're deviating from Charlize Theron?
Yeah, they're not. She's done.
Oh yeah, I guess she hates Tom Hardy or something, huh?
I probably.
That's
yeah.
I like Anya Taylor-Joy better, so that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: they wouldn't when they ended Fury Road. They were splitting off anyway, so they wouldn't need to get them back together.
That makes sense.
But yeah, Furiosa is an offshoot from Fury Road.
That makes me want to watch a Furiosa movie more now. With her in
Right.
it.
Yeah.
I've never been a big Charlize. She's a fine actress, but I'm never been a big Charlize Theron fan, or however you say her name.
Well, Mark, what'd you think about this movie?
Okay. It was okay. It was too long, as we've talked about before. I think that they could have cut out when he was a slave, and I think he could have started killing sooner. That's where that part just where he was getting to know when he's getting to know what's her name, Anya. Hurry this up a little bit. It was cool that they filmed on site, like Ian said, very atmospheric or whatever you want to call it.
I didn't even see, where did they film this?
It's Iceland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And it's just beautiful scenery, but you just got the feeling that, damn, it's cold.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see it, but I don't know if I want to go there. Yeah.
I heard production was a nightmare too.
I could see
the
that,
weather
yeah.
was horrible
I
the
could
whole
see
time,
that.
and
Yeah.
they're all shivering and stuff.
I respect that, though. That's really cool that they went to Iceland.
Yeah.
It's as bad as The Lighthouse. That was probably a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that too.
The weather there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I do want to see the lighthouse. I love the beginning the best. Ethan Hawke, the king. I just thought he was cool, man. I would definitely live under his rule. I mean, he's just, perfect combination of a nice guy and do what the hell I say kind of thing. Treated his son well, getting him ready to rule. And like you said, Alexander Skarsgard was just his transformation. I mean, the guy was a monster. He was huge. He made a comment I read where, the studio did all that for him, which they usually do. Got him a personal trainer, make sure that he was on a proper diet, and just, yeah, it was something. So, overall it was okay. Little too long. Liked the beginning of it more than I did everything else. So, yeah, that's that.
There's a lot of imagery that I was sort of a lot of metaphors, I guess you could say. Like, what'd you guys think of the scene where he goes down with his son into the cave, and he's like, "Do as I do," and they like start acting like dogs, and they like drink the mushroom tea or whatever and start tripping.
That was interesting. Yeah, I wonder if that must have been something that Eggers consulted with the historians about, like rituals that kings would do. Maybe. I wonder if that's a real thing. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It was a pretty fun scene though.
Yeah. I liked when they're like, he's like looking into his dad's body, and it like showed like they did this multiple times,
right?
Where they show like the bodies of certain people just kind of like passing through the screen.
Yeah.
Is it the Tree of Kings? I think he was saying.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of Black Panther, because I think Black Panther has like trees too in like their afterlife.
Oh yeah.
But that must be some sort of Viking lore.
Could be.
Yeah.
That just went right over my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too versed on Viking lore, so this movie.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Unfortunately, I may not be as well.
Yeah. That's okay.
I should be more, I feel like, but.
Well, then later on we see like visions of the Valkyries taking him to Valhalla, so that's another like Viking thing that they do.
Yeah, Vikings are very into the Valhalla stuff and believing that what they do on, the earth.
Ethan Hawke said that he has to die in battle so he could go there.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
It's their thing. Something I was talking to our friend Jake about after the movie was he brought up how, like, when they're raiding that one village, he noted that a lot of the people in that village, they look pretty much almost like the same as like a lot of the other villagers were, like even like the guys raiding them a little bit. I mean, maybe not as like huge and like crazy and stuff, but he was mentioning that like Slavic people, like they're called just Slavs, like as like in like slave. Almost.
I didn't know that.
I thought that was a cool thing.
Wow.
That he caught.
I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah.
Because the title card, it says that it's in the land of Rus, which is I think like Russia.
Oh, okay. Huh.
But if I'm not mistaken, after they do the battle, I heard like a Ukrainian town mentioned, like in the background. I think they might be like in the Ukraine attacking those villagers.
Wow.
Which is kind of topical.
Yeah, very much so.
When I was watching an interview with Eggers, he said, "Yeah, I wanted to make it up in England, have the Vikings storm in England, but Skarsgård said, no, we're not doing another boring ass England one. Set it in Russia. Set it in Russia, guys."
Funny.
So that's kind of cool that they changed it up a little bit. We're not just doing the same old, same old.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. Afterwards, my dad said, I feel like I've seen this movie before. Was it Game of Thrones? Was it that one?
Oh, okay.
I can see
And
that.
it is kind of a common story, but apparently Robert Eggers took this one from a true Viking tale, the story of Amleth. And that story actually inspired Shakespeare's Hamlet.
Wow.
So that's kind of why we've
cool.
heard this revenge tale
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, he was like comparing it to Lion King a little bit in that video that you sent.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
The whole how his dad dies and
Right. That's very good.
Let's go fight Scar.
That's a good comparison. Did your dad like the movie?
Yeah, he said, "Man,
Yeah.
it was fine." He said it was a little long.
Yeah.
My girlfriend fell asleep for an hour.
Right. I think she said that last night or yesterday. Yeah.
I was pretty entertained. I mean, yeah, it could have been trimmed down a little bit, but I don't know. I stayed entertained throughout the whole thing, honestly. I was pretty invested.
I was. It was engaging for the most part, thankfully.
Yeah. When he starts, there's a shot of him, just of his face, of, it's Amleth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or it might not be when he starts killing the people. It's the part when he has a bunch of people they're drinking something, and then it's like everyone starts like going crazy and freaking out or something.
Oh, when they're doing like the mushrooms.
Right.
Yeah, he like gives them to a bunch of the village people, and there's a shot of his face that looks so fucking scary, dude. He's just like staring him down, just like smiling like.
Is it the guy with
killing
no
you.
nose? Was it that scene when he's watching the guy with no nose?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Okay.
There's a
And
lot
the
of scenes
no-nose
with him.
guy's like tripping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Some really cool imagery in this movie.
Yeah. You know, though, the part that bored me, I've seen like the screen caps online for the advertisements. It's right after he destroys that village initially, he like is dreaming in a way, and he walks into a burned down building, and there's that woman there. I don't know if she's like a goddess or what, but her eyes are covered. She has the big old
Bjork.
Is that Bjork?
It's Bjork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You brought it up, I think, when we were eating dinner before, that Bjork was in this.
Yeah, she's like the seer lady.
Yeah. 'Cause she is Icelandic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I read that it's really rare for her to make appearance like in films and TV shows and whatnot.
Yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, that's why I said it was random that she was in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aside from the fact that she's Icelandic.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
The
Yeah.
imagery was awesome, and her costume was awesome and everything, but
Yeah.
I guess I just couldn't understand what she was trying to say or anything. And
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, let's get back to some killing. I
Right.
was kind of bored in that
Yeah,
part.
I can get that. Was that around the scene where he takes the sword? He imagines he's fighting the corpse, and then it cuts back to him taking the sword, and the corpse just turns to dust. Was that around that time too?
That was later.
Oh, okay.
The Nightblade
Okay.
King, whatever
Okay.
he was.
That was an interesting scene.
Yeah, so when I was looking that up, somebody was pointing out how there's split realities in this movie. Like, he imagines that he's fighting that Nightblade King, but then in real life he was just imagining it. So later on, he nearly dies and the Valkyries are taking him up to heaven, and then it turns out, oh, that was just Anya Taylor-Joy taking him to like a hot bath.
Right.
But then at the very end, when we see the Valkyries coming again, you can actually see into his eyes that he's going up to the gates of Valhalla. So that's finally where the split reality stopped.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully
Yeah.
that's where the split reality stopped.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just pretty interesting that they kept doing that.
What'd you guys think of the scene where he is getting that sword from the corpse? Was that?
That was fun. It
Yeah.
reminded me almost like a Elder Scrolls game.
I
Yeah.
got that vibe
Like
too.
Skyrim.
Yeah. You definitely. Yeah.
You go into the caves,
Yeah.
get the treasure, or whatever.
Or right before that, he talks to the dude in the cave who has the skull of Willem Dafoe. That guy was pretty interesting too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Was he just like Willem Dafoe's replacement?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. But then
It almost looked like it was the same place where they were drinking out of dog bowls or wherever. Like,
yeah, right? Like, why was that guy just randomly sitting out there?
I'm thinking he might have just been Willem Dafoe's replacement or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
'Cause you
would
don't
rather
ever-
have seen Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
I like how he wasn't able to draw the sword either.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't
Well, there's
get
a
it out of
couple
the
of
sheath.
times when he's coming down the hill and he's hitting everybody with it unsheathed. I mean, does that mean that if it's not ready to be used, it's not going to come out? Is
Only
that
at nighttime. Only at nighttime it can be used.
Yeah.
Which you wonder if maybe he's imagining that, but then later on, No Nose tries to unsheath it and he just tosses it aside in the
Yeah,
barn because
right.
he can't do it. So I
That's
guess
funny.
it's true. Yeah. He's not just making it up in his head.
Yeah.
How about the weird incest scene with his mom?
Yeah, that was
Hamlet?
a piece. That is very Hamletish. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
part was pretty messed up when she finally revealed that she was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
She was laughing
Yeah.
when I forgot the dude's name. His dad, when he dies,
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "I wasn't screaming, I was laughing in pure joy."
Jeez. As she's being hauled away on his
Yeah.
shoulder. Okay.
He was dragging her while he had the kid over his shoulder.
Right.
Like, wow. Now, see, that's another thing. I would have heard it up. You know, I'd have had her stand there and watch me torture the uncle. You know, and
Yeah.
I know that he had a vision that there was a lake of fire, and but I don't know. I think she should have had a bigger part in what was going to happen with the uncle. This is
Yeah.
what happens.
And
This
then
was,
the little kid jumps out and starts stabbing Alex Skarsgård too.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much did him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a pretty loud movie.
Loud?
Yeah, I mean, at least sitting through the first half hour, it felt like a bit too loud for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. The sound, the volume of it was just really crazy at first.
I remember reading somebody pointed out that Eggers doesn't directly show that women and people are being raped in this film, but he kind of does it off in the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like after the initial raid on that village, you'll pan by and you'll see women in cuffs or something, or they're shoving everybody into the barn, and then they set it on fire afterwards.
What was that movie? Is it Come and See?
Yeah, Come and See.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when that happened.
Same.
I thought it
yeah.
was more effective in Come and See. It looked real in Come and See.
I agree. Yeah. Well, that's because they were showing the victims inside on that
Yeah,
film versus
yeah.
this one. They just kind of look, they're getting shoved in,
Yeah.
but you don't have to see them die.
Right.
Pretty brutal.
Yeah.
You guys remember the chick that was sort of bound, hogtied, some BDSM shit?
To be sacrificed.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy too.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
And then they do the old switcheroo with her.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta say though, out of all of the rituals that occur in this film, I like the one after Nicole Kidman and her new husband, they lost their eldest son, and then they have that whole ritual where they're putting him into a boat,
Yeah.
and there's a woman singing, and I thought that they represented that side of the culture pretty well. Next thing you see is the woman who's singing's getting killed and sacrificed, and
Yeah.
they're all bathing in blood and stuff.
Right.
I thought that was a pretty visceral scene.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. That was pretty wacky.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Vikings were really interesting people. They were terrible, but I mean, God, they got some serious history.
Yeah. Do you think Anya Taylor-Joy was really having twins or kids at all, or was that another split reality?
I
think
it's
she
a
was.
They were. I think they were banging enough for that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think she had him.
she was definitely upset about him leaving.
Yeah. Very
See,
upset.
She wanted to raise them with him. So
Yeah.
And you notice the one that rules female. I thought that was kind of cool.
Right.
The one on the right.
Yeah, that is neat.
yeah. I guess it was really sort of rare or frowned upon to have females in charge in the Viking culture.
But it did happen.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
In that interview I sent you guys, one of the women who's leading the boats is supposedly one of those Viking leaders.
Right. Yeah.
Which later on, after they're pretty much done pillaging that village in the beginning, there's a woman charging through, shouting orders no, I want those ones. Get those ones over there. I wonder if that was supposed to be the Viking leader woman. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering why is that lady running around barking orders?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping she'd be in it more.
Yeah.
Somebody like that.
But
Maybe she was like a lieutenant or something. And
Yeah. But it's interesting, too, how he just has those almost pretty big characters, and they're just in the backgrounds.
yeah.
You have to catch them.
And plus, you know, if she is indeed going to rule, her mom is pretty hardcore, you know, so I could see her, you know, maybe forcing the issue if need be of making sure that she has her birthright and does rule.
Only fair.
We'll see it in Northman too. It'll be North Chick.
North.
North Woe Man.
There haven't been any. Has Robert Eggers ever done a sequel to any of his
No,
movies?
I don't think so. I don't think he's the sequel type.
That's good.
Yeah.
I read where he does not like The Witch. He wants to actually go back and redo it because he did it when he was young.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and he doesn't like some of the things that he did.
That's getting into George Lucas territory. I don't think I like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Witch?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It didn't blow me away or anything. Roman, I wish Roman were here as always. He really liked The Witch. My favorite of his is probably The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Which is very polarizing. You know, a lot of people don't like it. He's a kind of, you know, I think some people think Robert Eggers and this style of film is a little too arty. But I like his style. I think he's got a really good style, sense of direction.
Yeah, I gotta go with Ian. I think The Lighthouse is my favorite of his.
Definitely.
As of right now.
Yeah, same.
Another thing, there's a lot of ravens in this film. I think the ravens even save him when he's being tortured.
Were they ravens or crows?
I heard ravens, and the reason
I can't tell the difference. They look the same to me. Black boys.
The reason is Odin has been referred to as the Raven God, so maybe it's Odin watching over him. And Ethan Hawke, I think he was referred to as like a Raven King in a way.
Yeah, King, Arvando, War-Raven.
That's so Raven.
That's so Raven.
That's so Raven.
So that's kind of interesting. You get another little bit of that imagery, the Viking imagery, and it might just go straight over your head if you don't know anything about Vikings, which it did for me.
Same.
Yeah.
That's why I had to watch all the behind the scenes and stuff.
Right.
I was listening to an interview with Eggers, and they were trying to goad him into what he's going to do next. So are you going to do more Viking films? No. I think I want to go back and do more Northeast films like Lighthouse and The Witch, is what Eggers said. So I'm down for that. More North America stuff. That's what he does the best.
Yeah.
Lighthouse was good.
He didn't make Lamb, did he?
I don't think so.
Because that's like basically just like a foreign film, almost.
It might be. I think that might be an A24 movie.
It is.
It is?
That's
Okay.
why I was wondering.
Okay.
See, he does all the A24 stuff.
And this was not. I forget. I think this is Lionsgate.
It was an A24?
No, but it definitely seems like it could be an A24 movie.
Yeah. He's always making those.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget why. I think Lionsgate maybe won the bidding rights or something. I'm not entirely sure. I could be talking out of my ass.
They gave him the bigger budget than
Oh,
A24
that
could.
could be the case, yeah.
Maybe wider distribution. I mean, he has some pretty big...
A24 has been getting like some... we saw Everything Everywhere All at Once at the biggest movie theater here. They've been getting some... I don't know.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I know that everything had a pretty low budget, though. Like, a lot of the effects that were actually really good.
Doesn't seem like it, though.
Right?
It seemed like they had a big budget, which
I know.
I think just goes to show how well made that movie was.
Yeah.
Let's do character. That sounds good. Ian, what do you think?
Probably maybe Anya Taylor-Joy. I liked how she didn't take shit. She kind of fought back, you know. I thought that was cool. She didn't really, she kind of wasn't just there to be pushed around. That's the impression I got from her character, at least. And I thought that was neat. So I'll probably go with her. And I just like her a lot. So, I'm biased.
Kristian?
I was going to say Anya Taylor-Joy, but I'm going to go with Skarsgård.
Yeah.
I think he was awesome in this movie. Just his line delivery, his just the execution of the scenes that he's in. Yeah, I like his story too. I mean, I'm always down for a revenge. You know, in this case, a Viking revenge story. But yeah, I got to give it to Skarsgård in this movie, man. He was awesome.
Yeah, I agree. He, for not being in very many movies, he was able to keep up with the big dogs as far as his acting and such. So, definitely. Carlos, what do you think?
Man, you got Ethan Hawke giving a great performance. We got Nicole Kidman coming in there with some heat. Anya Taylor-Joy was beautiful. William Dafoe was hilarious. Only one I didn't recognize out of these big hitters was Claes Bang as Fjolnir, the uncle. And he kind of shined for me, and I think that was thanks to Edgar's and the cinematographer. We had a lot of great just face-on shots of Fjolnir, and he kind of was awesome. You know, he's not a typical bad guy where you're like, that's a bad guy. Of course, we saw him kill Ethan Hawke and everything, but that's another thing that I was listening to the director Robert Edgers say was, I didn't do my job unless you were questioning yourself this whole movie. I want you to question on whether Alex Skarsgård was a good guy or a bad guy by the end of it. Because, you know, technically the mother did ask for that to happen. She asked for the king to get his head chopped off. And now for some reason her son's coming back and killing everybody. So, like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? We don't know. And by the end of it, you know, I don't know if I want the uncle to die. Because what did he do? He just did what the wife wanted.
Good point.
And, you know, when the uncle comes back in and he sees that Alex Skarsgård killed his wife and son, and he just picks him up, walks out the door and says, I'll see you soon. I'll see you at the gates of hell. And they have that big final battle, and it was good. Yeah. I was really impressed by Claes Bang.
Do you think him getting ousted and having to have a farm on Iceland, do you think that was enough punishment for him, or do you think the added element of Skarsgård was deserved, I guess?
Ooh. It is pretty interesting how that all played out. I'm sure the mother just wanted like a strong suitor. She saw that her husband was wounded in the very beginning and said, oh, I gotta have somebody stronger. And, you know, that's how the animal kingdom goes, I suppose. You want the strongest of the pack. But she kind of fucked up. You know, she loses her husband and thinks that it's all going to work out, but then she loses her territory.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just what happens, I guess. Pretty interesting that they had to move out to the farm, though. I don't know if it was deserved, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. I like the king.
Yes.
King's my favorite. He, like I said before, I would definitely live under his rule. He was good, getting everybody ready for when he left. You know, his son, and I don't know. I just liked him. Thought he was cool. So.
But there's that part in Nicole Kidman's monologue when she says, "Oh, you think your father, Ethan Hawke, was so great? Do you know I was a slave to him, and I was forced to have you,
right?
And stuff." So, you know, then you look at it like that, and you're like, "Oh shit, maybe he was right to get his head chopped off in the beginning." I don't know. Yeah, I do like Ethan Hawke though.
Yeah, I'll stick with Ethan Hawke. All right, Ian, favorite scene?
Maybe the ending where he's he kills Nicole Kidman and the new kid, and he kills the guy with no nose. Pretty cool. He puts the blade up to his nose and inserts it in the nasal cavity. I thought that was a pretty good kill. That whole sequence, I think that might be my favorite scene in the movie.
That was good, because that's where we get the revenge.
Exactly.
Time for some revenge.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good old, payoff.
Yeah.
Kristian, what's yours?
I'm gonna have to go with when he starts taking his revenge on everybody, or in this case one person, but when he starts killing all of the people, and Yeah, just that whole speech that he does when he's like coming down the hill, and he's saying like, "Oh, how do you know it's not?" Because he kills the king's son, and then he takes his heart, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which probably plays back into Viking lore, because he's like, "Where's my son's heart? Where's my son's heart?"
Yeah.
I guess maybe you need to have it to be buried or something.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, he's like, because the king starts like slaughtering people. He just like starts executing all the slaves.
Right.
And he's like, in exchange for her life, I'll give you your son's heart. And then he finds out, oh, well, how do you know it's not some dog or something? Not some dog's heart. And he's like, it just drives him mad. And so I thought that was really cool.
Checkmated him.
Yeah.
That was good.
Carlos, what's your favorite?
I am a sucker for one-shot takes, guys. That opening when Skarsgard's climbing over the wall as a berserker and running in and chopping everybody up. I mean, we have one-shots from Birdman is famous for that. I'm trying to think of other one-shot films. 1917, that World War One film, is just shot completely one-shot.
Rope by Alfred Hitchcock does that. That was one of the
Rope?
first. Yeah, you know, they couldn't. It's edited just like they all are. But that one's from like the late 40s. It's really cool the way they did that one.
I gotta check that one out.
Yeah.
But I love those one-shots. And then you can also include a lot of background detail of like villagers running around in the background or people getting picked up and carried away. Yeah, that was definitely my favorite shot. Those ones are always impressive to me. Oh, another one is Leonardo DiCaprio's when is it when he gets attacked by a bear?
Oh, The Revenant?
The Revenant.
I never
yeah.
saw that. I heard very good things about it.
That's a good one
really
too.
good.
Yeah. But yeah, sucker for one shots, and I'm glad that Edgar's put one in this film.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark?
I'm going to stick with the king, man. When Ethan Hawke dies, and his son is behind the rock and watching it, and the seeds being planted, and you know that, because you know that Alexander Skarsgard is going to be the kid, and you just know that he's going to tear ass up, man. And yeah, that's my favorite.
What's his tagline? He says, "I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I'll kill you for your honor."
Yeah, I believe that's what he
That's
was
a good
chanting
tagline.
in the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
All through the movie, I think he chants
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's true.
Pretty
That's
cool.
his trope,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or his line.
I did like that scene though when like the brothers betraying him. That's good.
That is a good scene. A lot of good scenes. The one where they're playing that weird ass game was a decent scene too.
Yeah, where he kills him.
Yeah.
The big dude at the end. He
Yep.
just smashes his head in.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the
God.
mountain from Game of Thrones, wasn't
was
it?
Oh,
really?
shit.
I think
I didn't
so.
recognize him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
He looks a
cool.
little different in this one, but that
That's
was
funny.
good.
I haven't seen him in a minute
I know.
or years. But
There aren't exactly very many people bouncing around Hollywood built like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Built like a literal mountain.
All right, let's rate this baby. Ian, what do you think?
I think I might do a 3.5 out of 5. You know, it was engaging. I thought it was just a very well done movie. And the main thing I take away from it in a negative light is probably the pacing, the length. But it still kept me engaged, and you know, I give it credit for that. I think Robert Eggers is a talented filmmaker. I was reading this movie isn't making a lot of money, which is a bummer because it cost a lot to make. So that kind of bums me out. Hopefully more people start going. It probably won't. But, you know, at least they took a chance. Hopefully that doesn't screw other directors over in the future of not getting a decent budget.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. I'm glad we went and saw it. You know, it's just nice to go to the theaters again. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at a 3.5 out of 5. Good movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kristian, what do you think?
I'm gonna give this a 3.9. I was really impressed with this movie throughout pretty much the whole thing. Skarsgård is great. Anya Taylor-Joy is great. Ethan Hawke, Nicole Kidman, all did a very good job. Yeah, I was pretty floored, honestly. Yeah, I like Robert Eggers a lot, so that stands true. Stays true. Whatever they fucking say. Yeah, I am a big Robert Eggers guy. So 3.9.
Sweet. Carlos, what do you rate it?
I think I'm right there with Ian, and I'm going to give it a 3.5. I was very hyped for this film, but I think that length does cut the score down for me a little bit. I'm not well versed enough in Viking lore to truly get this movie on like a deeper level. Maybe if I researched a little bit more about Vikings, this would go up in ranking for me. But it is a tale that we've heard. It's a tale as old as time, you know, Hamlet, as we were saying earlier. So it's not too new or too fresh like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm going to be talking about that movie for the rest of my life. That's just such a good movie. But yeah, we had great performances. The action was pretty good. A lot of great sets. Scenes were great. You know, it was well performed. It just didn't get above that threshold for me to just tip it over to the 4 or the 5. Yeah. 3.5, guys. What about you, Mark?
I'm going to go with a 4. And a lot of that is because of how long the movie was. The thing about it is, I think we maybe touched on it before, is it's a very specific audience. And I think that's what you talk about your threshold. I think that's what maybe going to keep it under that threshold. It's just because of, and you got to think too, Nicole Kidman is really the only person in this movie that can carry a movie. William Dafoe is too old. Ethan Hawke is, you know, almost B-movie territory. Alexander Skarsgard is not there yet as far as a, you know, as a big name, or, you know, he's maybe a little above medium name. So, I you know, that kind of stuff too. But that doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, that doesn't take away from the movie for me, because it was well casted. All these guys did their parts very well. They're all good actors, decent to good actors. And like you guys, I'm looking forward to the future Eggers, because I think this guy is really good, and he's only going to get better. And if they keep, you know, like if the studio sees this for what it is, and they keep giving him money to, you know, then he's going to hit it.
That's what worries me, though. I don't think he's going to get this budget again with how much it's making right now, which is a bummer.
He's going to have to go back to A24.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll make up for it in a streaming arena.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
Hopefully this Nosferatu thing gets done. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
next week we will be covering the newest Doctor Strange movie, The Multiverse of Madness. So make sure you guys tune in next week.
Yes, please.
And thanks for listening to this review. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, guys.
It was fun. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Later.
See ya.
Boy.
Doctor.
Bad case of loving juice.